ladies and gentlemen, we're back with you. While Miss Darlena is getting took care of with her throat,
I'm gonna
we're
drink
going to
some of
clean
this
it.
water out loud.
I know,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I better be careful. I better be careful. What y'all putting in
What did
this?
you
Yeah.
put in this water before we came over here?
Woo, man, I know. Shoot.
But Mike, I know you got some moves coming up. Tell me a little bit about this LP that you got going on.
Well, the LP right now is in works, and it's looking really, really good. Um, Working with a lot of interesting people on this LP. So I mean, I'm just having a great time doing it. I mean, there's my stressful moments, but hey, you know what I mean. You gotta blood, sweat, and tears is going all into it. You
Yeah,
know what I
exactly
mean?
right. You got to
So,
shout out Fat D with that.
but yeah, yeah. But especially speaking of Fat D, shout out to him. He's gonna be working with me on the album. Miss a young Miss Connie Clark. Really excited about the song we're working on right now. We also have the group page up now, making moves with Mike Swagger.
Right there on
So
Facebook.
yeah, yeah. So make sure you guys check that out. Making moves with Mike Swagger. Go ahead and type in the search bar like you're looking for somebody's name, and you'll find me on there. And basically, what it is not just about the LP. It's about everything that I'm doing. It's basically like a reality page. Instead of having the reality show and TV's following me and all that. It's just doing like a reality page. So if you want to keep up on what I'm doing or what I got coming next, who I'm working with, moves I'm making, then yeah, definitely check out Making Moves with Mike Swagger.
Awesome. Well, definitely shout out to you. You're doing a good job on that. I know we've been
Appreciate
working
it.
with you about 4 years now.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
definitely.
know you came out. I know summertime's going to be coming around soon again. I
Yeah,
know you've
yeah.
got that video that we're working on,
Right, right.
Summertime in Southern California.
Yes,
Tell everybody
yes,
about that.
yeah. Summertime in Southern California is right now. It's like it's my California love. It's my California West Coast pop locking song. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's the song that is gonna come around every summer, and people are just gonna love it. And the reason why is because I'm not talking about all the bling and the flash and all that. I'm talking about what life is here to us Southern Californians. And not only that, the video came out spectacular. You were there, obviously. You
Oh
helped
yeah,
me
I was
shoot
shooting
it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So once the editing is done and we get that going, then we're gonna be submitting it to BET, MTV, all those places. So yeah, it should be going worldwide. That's
That's
what I'm
great.
here
Now,
for.
what are you featuring in on the LP this year?
What am I featuring in? What do you mean?
What's the major big song that you're going to
Oh,
do?
the major big songs that I'm doing is gonna be it's gonna be the summertime and the summertime sequel. That's gonna be the major ones on there. But there's a lot of different major times of the year that I'm hitting. I mean, to me, music. I mean, everything is there's a time and place for everything. So you got to think about the time when you're releasing your music, what the focus is, and why you're releasing on these specific days or these specific times. There's got to be a reason. So, but yeah, but summertime. I mean, it's gonna be based off. I mean, it's gonna be based off the summertime mainly. The album is. So it's gonna be coming out actually May 29th is the album release, and I'm gonna be doing that out in Menifee, California for those for watchers that ain't in California. Because I know we got some way out in New York, Texas somewhere watching.
Everywhere.
So if you want to come out to Menifee, California, May 29th is when I'm gonna be doing the album release. We're gonna have D Dizzle from 99.1 coming out to actually host it. I'm gonna have a lot of good people performing. I'm gonna reach out to just put out some names out there. Definitely No Face Shadowman.
Oh yeah, I
I've
love
already
No
reached out
Face.
to Fat D, so their camp's gonna come out and do some stuff. My homie Boss Gotti out in Reno Valley, he's definitely bringing this camp out. And so yeah, and the crowd out in Menifee, I mean, it's spectacular. Let me tell you, I mean, they really get into live music, so it should be a great night.
So make a move for Mike Swagger
Yes, sir.
this May. So
Yes.
folks should make sure you check it out right here on Facebook.
And that's the Mike Swagger LP. So you know what I mean. Make sure you look out for the Mike Swagger LP. Google Swagger, aka the one. Mike Swagger, it don't matter. I'm gonna pop up.
He's everywhere, folks. All right. Well, we got Darlena back in. How you
Yes.
feeling better now, sweetie?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. So now where do we leave off at here?
Yes,
We
we
were
are.
talking about the 501c
Yes,
on the umbrella.
yes.
So
Um, what I recommend or what I suggest is that you work with another organization because you're not until you get your final registration as a charity. Because if someone is donating to your organization or if a business is working with you,
right.
they deserve that tax write off. They deserve that recognition, and you want them to have that. And also, you want the want someone that's experienced, that's gone through the process, to show you the right way to go through the process. So you want that other group, that experienced board, as an advisory committee
Right.
to make sure that you stay legal and to make sure you get that 501c3 and that you keep it.
Exactly. It's hard to work to get it, so might as well keep that
Exactly.
thing when you got it.
Exactly.
Well, we're definitely gonna be talking after the show, because we're actually working on, getting 501c for Hemet News and the communitytv.com.
Yeah, and I think it's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, because, you know, we are a community trying to help the communities.
Absolutely. And the businesses that support an unbiased news station,
Right.
that those businesses need to be recognized for understanding the importance of just sharing information, transparency, having that visibility. So they need also, so it's a mutually beneficial relationship. And one of the workshops that I'm going to do later is talking about how to pick businesses to partner with.
Oh, okay.
I work with children, so I don't do beer companies. I don't do cigarette companies. Yes, I have received funding from some of the casinos, but it's been for education.
Right.
There hasn't been some kind of reciprocal relationship where I refer the kids to the casino. You need to know what your objective is, and you need to find partners where that objective would be
Fits in.
mutually
Exactly.
beneficial.
Right.
So the funding that I've received in the corporations that I work with, they're corporations that are looking out for the public good.
Okay.
And so I look for people who are interested in the environment, who are interested in making children into good citizens, that are interested in education. And so I partner with those organizations.
So any of you organizations out there that are interested, contact Darlena. And where can they contact you at?
They can contact me at my website, which is www.stcarysclassroom.org or www.stcaryscenter.org. They can contact me via phone 951-468-8287, and they can contact me by email, stcaryscenter@gmail.com.
All right, you want to give that number out one more time?
951-468-8287.
All right, so folks, you got that. If you don't, after the show, just rewind it and get the number again. So definitely I want to talk to you about that. That's a good thing that you're doing there. And like I say, we're also going to be working on that, so we want to get information on that, because
Right.
we want to see Hemet News grow and grow the right way with the right support. So
Right.
we
And
definitely-
I've had a number of organizations ask me, I want to do a workshop about proposal writing.
Right.
Because if you are a 501c3, if you are a charity, you're basically asking for money in order to do good in the public. And a lot of organizations go about that the wrong way.
Right.
And so you need to understand that it has to be a mutually beneficial relationship. You have to know what this company is promoting, what they're about, and then make sure that there's an alignment with your nonprofit, with that particular organization. So that'll be some of the information that I give at my workshops as well.
Okay, so make sure, ladies and gentlemen, February the 25th, and that's going to be at the Alessandro High School.
Yes, and I'm asking for a $25 donation, and the reason I'm doing that is because I do have community development grants, and I need to show involvement in the community in
Right.
terms of working with children, and my program is free. So the parents don't have to pay for the program.
Right.
And so that's one of the ways that I raise money for the program. And all of the money that's donated to St. Cary's Center, 100% goes to programming.
That's good. I mean, I
So-
know you've done a lot with it, with the programs since
Right.
I've known you, and I mean,
Right.
it's very good for the community. I appreciate what you're doing. We
Thank
need
you.
more people like you.
Thank you, thank you.
So make sure if you want to donate, you know how to contact her. You can also hit you up on Facebook too under
Yes.
ST Carries. That's STCARRIES. She'll pop up. You'll see her picture. Just tell her the crazy guy with lazy eye sent you. Also, let's see here. We've got something else you want to talk about. After school programs. for
Exactly.
kids.
And I want to kind of give a little bit of background. I've been in Hemet about 20 years. So 20 years ago, Hemet was primarily a retirement community. And fast forward 20 years later, and we are more family. The population of Hemet has grown younger, which is a good thing. But the services for children haven't kept pace
with the number of families that have moved into the
Exactly,
community.
yeah.
So you have a lot of children that are at home by themselves after school, and those children are vulnerable to negative influences. Con artists know exactly what to say, they know exactly what to do to lure those children in. And we don't have enough after school programs here. Each school site, elementary school site here, has a waiting list of about 80 to 100 kids. So that's 80 to 100 kids whose parents want them in a program, but there isn't a program available. And so that's how we stepped in. We started meeting with the community, bringing everybody together and saying, okay, what can we do? How can we help? And so we came up with the after school program, and then I came up with the idea of how do you prepare children for the 21st century? You look at STEM.
Right.
And so I started to look at some of the funding that's available for children who come from low income backgrounds, socioeconomically disadvantaged. That's the politically correct term. And I started to apply for those funds. And I've been successful at the corporate level as well as at the government level, at the county level. And so I want to continue with that, to expand the program,
We
serve
definitely
more
need
kids.
that. We definitely need that out here in Hemet because, like you say, you know, if we can get these kids, they're bored, they're after school, they ain't got nothing to do, and they end up on the streets getting in trouble, and then what's going to happen? Now you've got this program where they can come off the streets and give them something to do, and they're not so bored and keep them out of trouble.
Absolutely. And I think there's a misconception. I was figuring it out, and I have two parent families where both parents work, but they're working minimum wage jobs, full time, and they make less than I did 30 years ago as a professional working 190 days a week.
Right.
So my parents work hard. And with the downturn in the economy, people accept whatever job becomes available. So they're underemployed. I have one mother who's a single parent, and she's basically working 3 jobs. I mean, she's selling Avon, she's working as a receptionist, she's working as a waitress. These parents that are working at these jobs, they have children. And those children are in their schools, and those children want a better future. They want to improve their lives. And so someone has to take the time and guide them in that process. And we know, I mean, Victor Hugo said it 300 years ago. Every time you close a school, you open a prison.
That's right.
And prison is 4 to 7 times more expensive than school. So if we can keep these kids actively engaged in something that's going to serve them in the future, and STEM will serve them. If we can teach them to take care of the environment, make this planet a better place for the people who come afterwards, then we've done something, and we can be happy with that. We look at recycling. We use art. We take things that people throw away, and we make art with it, 3-dimensional art with it. And they could sell it, or they could hang it in their house, or whatever. The point is the concept of reusing something and not putting it in the ocean, not put it in in our water supply. We have that concept, and the whole concept of using the recycled tires. Fuentes Tires has been wonderful with making sure the tires are in good condition and that they will last 5 to 10 years if we need them. And so we're reusing our resources. And also, it's really important for people to know that you don't have to be wealthy in order to learn about environmental science. You don't have to be wealthy to grow your own food. You don't have to be wealthy to eat nutritionally. You can do that for yourself.
That's right, exactly. And I like the idea about using the tires for raised beds because a lot of times out here in Cali, you don't have good soil to grow, your own food and stuff
Absolutely.
like that. So doing that, get you a tire, throw it in there, put you some topsoil on there, and she's ready to go. Or not
Oh,
topsoil,
yeah.
but all the good nutritious soil. So that's a good idea, and you're not, like you say, putting the tires out in the ozone layer after they either burn them or fall
Absolutely.
in the dumps.
I definitely wanted to ask, with these programs, you guys, your company or your program, they offer mentoring as well then, for these children.
Absolutely.
I mean, like one-on-one mentoring, I'm going more in the depth about, you're saying how con artists can get into their heads very easily and lure them away. So as far as I'm hearing, you guys are doing the opposite, but I wanted to know if you guys are doing it more one-on-one base, or is it as a group? Are you talking to them about, any issues at home or anything like that? Like, as far as like mentoring goes.
Okay. And I want to say it's not only mentoring the students, but it's mentoring the parents as well.
Right.
Because many people who come from lower socioeconomic groups, it's a generational thing.
Right.
They weren't able to focus in school because they had to help their parents support the family. And so we do have people who come out and volunteer. We invite businesses to come out and speak to us.
Right.
We had the bank to come out and just to show and talk to the kids about how to open a checking account and why it's important to have a checking account.
Right.
And to think about saving and starting to save when you're young, and then when you're 16 or you're 18
and you want to buy that car, then the money you've been putting away from odd jobs or even from selling vegetables or fruit from the garden, you can have that.
Right.
And it also, of course, helps to establish your
credit. So having business people in the community
Right.
come and speak to our parents, speak to our students, having people volunteer to like teach checkers or to teach them how to play chess, just really having adults who are concerned and interested in their lives.
Right.
They can share their dreams. Every child has a dream.
Right.
No child wakes up and says, oh, I'd like to be in prison for the rest of my life.
Right.
And so to have that adult there that you can share that with, to encourage you,
Right.
is truly important.
Definitely.
Also too, I know my security guard wants to ask you a question as well. He's sitting over here in the back watching the door. Go ahead, Barry, what you got to say?
Okay, in regards to the mentoring, who can mentor, and how would one go about doing it? Because say like myself,
Right.
okay, I have a lot to offer younger kids these days because I've spent a lot of years in prison
Okay.
and learned a lot from it.
Okay.
So, how would I go about being a mentor?
Okay. You brought up several issues, so we're gonna have to break them down.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. In terms of the criminal background, if that criminal background is open or hasn't been expunged, then we would have to have the parents there, and we would have to have parent permission for you to come in and be able to speak. And I think that many of our parents would recognize the value of that, and so you would be able to do that in an after-school program. And then in terms of the mentoring, again, transparency, letting us know, what's going on and what your background is. It would be up to that parent to say either yes or no, that would be acceptable for them. But certainly, they would have to be informed.
Now, is that something, during that process, is that something that I would be there for?
I would hope so, that we would have a discussion and you would be able to answer any questions that the parent had. And so, there's a background check. Anytime you work with children, there's a background check. You cannot be employed by something like an after-school program or someone who works with children if you have certain criminal records, if it's not a misdemeanor or whatever.
Charges against children.
Exactly. But in terms of being a speaker and in terms of another relationship, that would be between the parent.
Okay, because I have my entire history printed up already.
Okay. And the parent would make that decision, but it would be disclosed and it would be discussed, and the parent would make the best decision for their child.
Okay. That sounds reasonable.
Yeah, sounds reasonable.
I can't complain with that, brother. So, okay, is there anything else that you'd like to tell us?
I would just really like for people to understand how important it is to build youth up instead of tearing them down.
Right, exactly. They're going to be our new generation,
I mean, I'm so grateful to you guys because most of what you see in the media is a very small part of our youth. But that's the sensationalism, that's what gets the ratings up. And so, of course, people publicize that part. I would encourage you and any other media outlet to start to focus on those kids that are doing well.
Right. Yeah,
Giving them the attention.
Exactly.
And supporting them. And I think what you'll find from that is that other kids will see them as role models, and they'll say, hey, this kid is in the news, he did something really great, I want to do something great. Where can I volunteer? Where can I help? What can I do?
How can I be on Hemet News?
Exactly, exactly.
So we'd rather have them on Hemet News this way than actually seeing them,
Absolutely.
in car chases and breaking in homes and stuff like that and being
Absolutely,
on Hemet News.
absolutely. So I think, everybody makes mistakes. We all did. Fortunately, I had people around me who were loving and who could guide me, and I did restitution or whatever, when I did something. And so I had a village, and we have to be a village for this generation,
Right.
and we have to love them through it. We have to love them through it. We have to provide them with the modeling, provide them with consequences, of course, but at the same time, one act is not your whole life.
That's right. And I want to go over one thing that me and you talked about, I believe it was yesterday. I'm going to shed just a little bit of light on them, not going to really put it on bright, but I know we are working on another program in the community, talking about these kids getting in trouble. Well, once they do get in trouble, it's normally 9 times out of 10 they have to do community hours, community service.
Yes.
So a lot of these kids I've noticed has come to me, I have a few of them that's actually asked me, look, I need to get my hours. What can I do?
Absolutely.
So we're actually starting a program. I'm actually talking with the San Jacinto juvenile supervisor,
Mm-hmm.
and they're actually next week they'll be getting back up with me and let me know we're actually going to try to start activating this program to where we can actually have these kids that are needing to fulfill their community hours by either coming out and donating their time, help neighbors. We may have people in our community that's not able to get out and rake their yards.
Absolutely.
So these kids can actually come do that, and then we can sign them off for their hours. If you have, in your after-school programs, I know that you know a lot of people that needs these kids' help.
Right. And I have quite a few kids that do their community service with us. If they are a minor, they can come on campus. They can do their community service, and you see such a difference. I mean, they've helped me with clerical work. They've helped me to make sure the classroom was sanitized because it's winter and colds are flying around. They've helped out in the garden, and you watch a transformation happen
Yeah,
as
because
this
they're learning
child is
as they're
doing
going.
something that's important
Yeah.
to them. So I encourage other organizations in the valley. I know we're afraid of kids that have gotten in trouble, but as long as they're supervised and mentored, they can really provide a quality service.
I mean, kids are kids. I'm pretty sure everybody's gotten in trouble at one time.
Oh,
We all have,
and I would like to say is definitely, kids have had rough pasts and stuff like that, but we're all socialized to be a certain way. Everybody has a background. Everybody comes from somewhere, and to have a place where they can go and be treated like an adult and have some responsibilities and be able to show that they are responsible. And if somebody would give them a chance, to not just look down and say, well, you're the next generation of losers, or I knew your father when he went to this school, or whatever, and give them a fresh start and say, hey, this is the responsibility, like, and you can handle it and back them up. It's a great thing and a great tribute to the community.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I think so, because someone came to our first meeting and said that 70% of the kids that graduate from our schools here in the valley leave. And they leave because of lack of opportunity or lack of jobs or whatever. And then the 30% that stay, most of them are either unemployed or underemployed. So we need to invest in our young people in this valley so that they can be productive citizens, because that's our tax base, and that's going to determine the quality of life for all of us. Not just those particular families, but all of us.
That's it. So if you have community hours that are needed to be fulfilled, make sure you contact me on Facebook, or you can get a hold of St. Carey's, and
We'd
we'll
be
lead
happy
you
to
to
work
it.
with you.
Exactly. So the crazy guy with the lazy eye and Miss Darlena with St. Carey's is here to help you out. So definitely appreciate you coming on the show with us. And
Thank you.
This is our grand opening show, our first show on the Crazy Guy with the Lazy Eye show. And I know we did a radio talk show with you
That's right.
several months ago.
Yes.
Exposing some stuff.
Yes, and I really want to say thank you to Hemet Radio, because you guys helped me get the message out about the program, about what we were doing,
Right.
and people heard that show, called us and asked us what did we need. A lot of parents sent their children. So it's really, community radio is really important. I mean, people are listening.
Oh yeah, they definitely do. We get a lot of hits on there, but we get a lot more hits on the community TV because we're a community now. So
Yes.
we're just beginning, like I say, or we just started the community TV at the first of the year, and I mean we hit the floor and we hit it running hard. We're going to bring Hemet back, and we're going to take our streets back.
Sounds
So
great.
we're here to help our community. So
Wonderful.
I
Wonderful.
appreciate everything that you're doing for the kids in
Thank
the
you.
community.
Thank you. It's a labor of love.
Hey, you got to show that Cali love, right?
Yep. Yep.
So I'm gonna swing right over here to Mr. Dave Keys. How you doing today, Dave?
I'm doing very well.
You're not gonna choke on the water, are you?
I'm gonna try not to.
Okay.
Stay away, put the water down.
So Dave, I hear you got some stuff coming up in the community as well. I've been working with you for about 2 months now, and we've been running a few things that you're doing over here in the little city of Hemet. I know you do music as well, some other things. Tell me what some of the software development that you're doing. I know right now on Hemet, Facebook, a lot of people I've noticed gets a lot of issues with security. You know, hacking. You get on there, you put your stuff on there, you think only your friends and family can see it on Facebook, but how quick does it really get to be hacked on Facebook?
Well, if you're from the valley, do you remember Lambs Canyon Road?
Right. Oh, I remember
10
that road
years
real
ago, when there wasn't a dividing line down the middle. Didn't matter how safe you were as a driver, driving that road wasn't safe.
Right. Because you always got to worry about that other person.
Right. That's the way the internet and all computers are to some degree. You've got to have the computers safe,
Right.
the websites safe for you as a driver
Right.
in your browser to be safe.
So what do you recommend on that?
Well, I have a special product where basically you are setting up your own version of Facebook between you and close families. You can share information, share pictures, but nobody else can get to it.
Right.
It's not something that you can put a picture up and then it's shared with all the people in Istanbul. You know.
Right, right. That's actually pretty cool. So basically, what it is it would be like how I have my Making Moves with Mike Swagger. I have my group, right, and I have all my people that I invite to my group. But see, they can share my stuff with other people. So you're saying that network is just all the people that I want to be in it, and I can share whatever I want, my music, my all that stuff. And then can my friends share as well?
Yes, everybody within it is in a community.
Right.
So it's kind of like somebody's living room. You've got a photo album,
Okay.
and everybody shares and looks. Somebody can put another photo album on that table.
Right.
And again, everybody in the room shares.
Okay.
And
By
you just
looking
don't
at
get
that.
outside that room.
Right.
Right.
Unless
That's-
somebody
So
downloads.
you got Facebook over here, and you got my book over here. Basically.
Yes, except Facebook is not just over there. It's also over there and
And
over there and over there.
Exactly.
Right.
And this stays.
Well, not only
Okay.
that, with Facebook, I mean, all the, it's just become so regulated. I mean, it's not like it's even, how they had MySpace, back in the day, it's not even your space really. I mean, they tell you what you have to do, they regulate, how basically you can set your Facebook up. It's like, it's your social network, it's your space through these limited guidelines. So something like that would be perfect for, like, say, an artist like myself, right?
Yes, unfortunately, I will have to keep track of some things, like you can't go out and sell illegal drugs on it.
Right. Well, yeah, the obvious things. I mean, there's got to be some regulation. I mean,
Right.
if there's going to be a legitimacy going on.
Right,
You know?
exactly.
Yeah, well,
so
I have
that,
to- I have to
Right.
worry about the fact that this is all going to be put on servers in Texas, owned by a company called GoDaddy.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, and if they find out, then I lose quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, that's a good point there. Now, as far as the security on it, you were talking about it has a lot different backdoor security that you put in.
Yes, it has the security, while Facebook has a lot of little settings that you can put. There's a little bitty icon up in the upper right.
Right, where you see where only some, or certain type of people, friends or friends of friends,
Right.
can see whatever, or, you know, okay.
Unfortunately, what hackers do, their job is to confuse you or to confuse the computer itself as much as possible.
Everyone
Re-
needs
remem-
to confuse me though.
By any chance, do you remember Kevin Mitnick? The first hacker to do Hard Time. And he said that he never did anything technically difficult.
It wasn't that Dark Dante, was it?
What?
It wasn't Dark Dante, was it?
No. No, he never did anything technically difficult unless he had to.
Right.
Usually, he would call people on the phone and say, oh, by the way, this is Mike from your security, or your company's security. Just to be sure, we're concerned about your security. Give us your password.
Oh God.
I don't know you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if somebody's a little loose and what used to be called common sense is not used.
Right.
Well, I mean, I'm sure when the first hacker got caught and all that, I'm sure computer awareness, and safety and security wasn't as accessible as it is today and as widespread. I mean, people have lost so much information, on a computer, now, but back then, or say, what year did you get caught?
Well, like the Target,
Right.
a lot of things when the hackers wanted to get some programs on the Target computers, they put them on those little thumb drives and left those thumb drives. They accidentally left those thumb drives out in the parking lot, where people would pick it up and think, "Oh, I just got something.
Yeah, that's on that thumb
I'll
drive.
put it on my computer and work."
Right.
And then they go in and plug in the computer and it automatically loads it in.
Well, it loads it in, and then from that point on, it is able to get people's credit card numbers
Right.
and emails it to the hacker.
Yep. And I've noticed too, a lot of times too on Facebook, I've noticed, I got this one thing popped up. And it was like, somebody posted on the wall saying, I can't believe you, I seen this picture of you somewhere like that. And you click on it, like, what picture you talking about, right?
Right.
So you click on it, and then it pops up saying you must log into Facebook first, and then it gives you that little login screen, like you like Facebook, log in. But if you're not thinking about it, you just gonna go in there and type it in anyway. But when I see those windows like that, I say, okay, I'm gonna try something. Because number one, I'm already logged in Facebook. Why do I
Right.
need to log in again? You
Right.
know. So my antennas go up. So I go in and I type in just anything with just any blah 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 as a password, and it takes it and lets me back to my Facebook. Now what that does is it's making you think you log back on, but it didn't.
Yeah.
All it's doing is taking your information and it's sending it to that person.
Right.
And now they're turning around and using your account,
Yeah.
sending the same messages as everybody else. Before
Right.
you know it, everybody's got it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's coming from, now since they got your account, they log in, they hit you up as me, as your friend, you're gonna trust that because, crazy guy and lazy guy might not be that stupid, send something like that, so I'm gonna, boom, you got, now they wanna use your account, do it to her. She's not gonna think anything of it because it came from you. She's gonna open it, but before you know it, everybody's password is sent to her. So definitely when I tell everybody,
So
when
make
you're on
sure, yeah,
Facebook, if you
use
see that,
protection.
use your
Yeah.
head, If you type in the wrong
Yes,
password
definitely.
first, just to check it, it's not gonna hurt you. But you type in your information that is correct, it's gonna hurt you. So you see
That's
stuff
why I
like
said
that, be
what
careful.
used to be called common sense.
A lot of people
It's not very common today,
No, it's not.
but that's been said quite a bit.
I know a lot of people ain't got sense God give a billy goat.
Well, there's something to be said too about computer education. You know what I mean? There's a lot of people that might not be educated in, using, something like Facebook. You have the older generation who wouldn't know if they said, "Oh, here's a crazy picture of me," and they went to go click it. They're not gonna know. I had to learn the hard way growing up. I clicked it, and my brother yelled at me. Why'd you do that? So I learned, over time. But there's a lot of issues of internet security. And you're an internet, guru here with us today. Why don't you talk about some of the, security issues that maybe some people that don't know about would be interested in?
Basically, the first step is, like I said, common sense. is very simply, don't do anything unless you start it. If you told them that you're going to put in your information to log in, put in your information. If it asks you, don't put it in.
That's right.
Stop and think. But if you initiated it, then there's more of a chance that it is real. And now, this Saturday, over at the Little Louie's Bar, I'll be giving some seminars on how to write a decent password and how to be careful and treat your passwords like your underwear.
And why it's important to change your underwear all the time.
That's one of the many things. But you've got to come to the seminar that will start at 1 o'clock at Little Louie's to find out the other ways you have to treat it like your underwear.
That's right. Now, is this going to be at Little Louie's or over at the pizza parlor?
It's at the pizza parlor next to Little Louie's.
Okay, now you just probably got a lot more people coming now. So.
Oh, yeah, probably.
So
Well,
it's-
another thing about internet security is people might not know is about cross-pollination. Which, I mean, if you know what that is, it's basically when people use the same password for everything, every site, every,
Yeah.
that they have, which is really bad. I mean, obviously you know that, because if the hacker gets one password
He's
to
got
your
everybody.
email, then he can go to every single one. So yeah, there's definitely always a good to put like an extra character or space or something in there to.
Let me give you a little secret. I've got a program that keeps all my passwords in a special scrambled file, what computer programmers call encrypted. I've got over 300 different passwords. So there's no way I'm going to remember each and every one of them.
I need one of those programs just to keep 3 of my passwords.
But it gives you, it's a little program. Whenever I'm going to do something, I start that program, so I'll always have my passwords and my usernames available sitting next to me.
Now, what do you do if you forget that password?
I've got it in a safe in my bedroom.
See, my luck, I forget the combination to the
Exactly.
I can't win for losing.
You can't win, man. You can't win.
Yes, well, how would you like it if you had 300 different passwords?
It's already hard enough, like I said, to keep up with 3 less than 300.
Oh,
you know?
okay. Yes.
I definitely couldn't do it. So,
So you need to come to that pizzeria next to Little Louie's and find out how to have a good password.
I'm definitely gonna be there.
Okay.
Now, you say what time does that start?
It's going to be at 1 o'clock at this place right on Florida and New Chicago,
Right
across the street from Walgreens. Yes.
We'll see, I can get my medicine and everything while I'm there.
Yes.
Get it all done at one time.
Absolutely.
You know, I'll come over there, I'll get my medicine and learn how to change my underwear.
Right on. There
Sounds
you go.
good.
There we go.
Now, this Facebook deal that you've got, let's say I wanna get one, Mike Swagger wants to get one for his little network, how does he go about doing that?
Well, I've just set up a new program specifically for artist galleries,
Oh, cool.
which would fit right into what I think he wants.
Yes.
There you go, Mike.
Yes.
Okay,
So if you go to smoothguitar.cool,
Smooth
Cool.
guitar.
That's a good name. I like that.
that's the name of the example that I use for myself.
Right. Okay. So would I have my own name?
If you want to buy one
Right.
from places like GoDaddy,
Well, I have a MikeSwagger.com already bought, but I don't have anything. I don't have the website set up yet. So would I be able to use that?
what we would do is we would set it up so that I could get in and use that name,
Right.
and I would point that name to the website I created for you.
Okay.
Yeah, just forward it on there.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And that it's called a hosted domain on my side,
Right.
if that matters. But the idea is that then MikeSwagger.com will be available. The work that I put into creating a website will be available through your name that your audience will remember.
Right, right.
And he'll have backdoor control panels as well to do what
Yes.
he needs to do.
Right.
And that's what I could do is I could give you a password on the example site so you could go in and you can make any changes you want.
Right, right, okay.
Okay, try it out and try it before you buy it.
Yeah, right, there you go, sounds good.
So now, I know I have a lot of people all the time come to me and asking me about websites, cause you know, I build all of our websites that we've done, but you know, I'm too busy to try to build them for other people, so who do they go to that say, I want a website built?
Okay, well, I've got a list of what you want to do. I want to sit down and find out what you want to do. You would talk to me.
What kind of website you want,
Yes, RDK, the initials RDK software.com.
okay,
When I first started in computers, it was primarily to store your recipes, and video games were no more than
is that when we were
Palm?
saving everything on cassette tape?
yes.
Or we still chiseling it on the rock?
Yeah.
No, it was on cassettes.
I remember those days.
Yes, and so now we're doing it a little different. Basically,
We're saving it on hard drives.
if you've got Amazon.com, that would be probably a little more expensive than what Mike Swagger wants to do.
Right, right.
So you've
Yes.
got websites starting from like a one-page website on all the way up to an e-commerce site that can cost from
Yes.
$50 all the way up to $5,000, depending on what it is you want.
Yes, yes. Well, with the e-commerce, considering the liability that I would have to take on, there
Exactly.
probably
Won't
would be
cost you
more
a
than
little
five.
enough.
Yes,
Oh, definitely, yeah.
yes.
So if somebody actually wanted to start, you know, let's say an e-commerce type site where they have products they want to sell and be able to accept credit cards, are you able to set that up for them as well?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
yes,
Do
it-
they have to have a merchant account, or do you have where you can handle all that?
If
for you? 'Cause
they would have to have a merchant account to set up with Visa,
Right,
but if they want to take payments through PayPal, they don't.
exactly, because you can use it through, okay, gotcha.
Yes, but so PayPal, I think for a small business is probably the best bet,
Right, yeah, that's what we use on Emmett News is
Mhm.
PayPal, so.
because then they can decide if they're going when people are paying primarily by debit card or credit card, and you don't want to have to pay PayPal 20% fees.
Oh, man, they tear us up, especially when people go in and make donations, you know, we're telling the community, you know, throw in like $1 donation.
Yes.
Well, by the time PayPal gets their fees, I get maybe 60 cents of that dollar, you know, so
Oh,
they
yes.
do get you on fees, definitely, so.
Yeah, that's why I was saying start with PayPal and then move on later on.
Now, if you wanna get your own merchant account, I know it is good and cheap and easy to go through QuickBooks. I know QuickBooks Intuit's got a lot of good merchant
Yes,
services,
how-
so.
There's a lot of easy ways of doing it, but that's something that I would need to sit down and talk to you one-on-one on how to do it.
Right.
And actually, because there's an awfully lot we have to worry about for the regulations for security that Visa has put in.
Exactly, yeah, Visa just changed that just a while back.
Yes, and they keep changing that all the time. And
They're changing their underwear.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
So, okay, so, how can people contact you if they wanna, you know, sit down and talk with you and discuss on how to get a website built?
Best bet is to go to rdksoftware.com.
That's Robert David Kelly. So-
Robert David Keys, but
Well, I'm
close.
using that for now, you know.
Yeah.
RDK.
Don't want them to type in RBK because it
Yeah.
sounds like a D. You
Yeah.
know, so RDKsoftware.com.
rdksoftware.com.
Yeah.
And from there, there's the link to contact me.
Okay.
Either my phone number or my email address.
Now, do you say there are samples on the website where they can actually go out and check some of the sites that you offer
Yes.
and what you can do?
Yes, there are. It's called. I've set up what they call a profile. You can go out and you can look at each You can look at several websites that I have done in the past.
I know you're working on
And
one
something
for
like
us, yeah.
Mike Swaggart, I could give you a password to one to let you play with the control panel. I'm not going to let other people play with other people's control plans.
Oh man, you take the fun out of it. You know? Well, I know I still haven't got a chance to go there and check it out yet. I know you sent me the links because you're doing one for us, but man, these people out here in Hemet that's messing up, you know, driving drunk and running from the law and hitting people, you know, jaywalkers running out in front of cars and getting hit and they want to blame the driver for it, you know, we've been swamped, you know, so I haven't even had a chance to even really read the message that you sent me, so
Yeah.
I'm definitely interested in that because I've got a lot of new stuff I'm going to be putting out for the community and I could definitely use your help on that, so we'll be talking on that.
Okay, well, we do have to sit down and talk. Now, you're going to be at a dinner that I will be playing the
Right.
guitar at.
Exactly.
Saturday.
And tell the people about this dinner that we're gonna be at.
Okay, this will be up at the Scientology Center on Gilman Springs.
Oh, I'm not going to Thomas.
You mentioned Scientology. Yeah, right.
No,
Tom
it's,
Cruise gonna be there.
I know, right?
I don't think they're going to be torturing anybody, but I could be wrong on that.
Well, if they do, I'm gonna tell you one thing that you have to only worry about is catching up with me, because I'm gonna be out of there.
Well, I made sure to get they're okay to have it videotaped, so that you can videotape it.
Yeah, we've actually been talking to, I think it was, Fred Nunes,
Yes.
and I think they're not gonna allow any videotaping on there, but we'll check it out if not.
Well, Linda told me that it would be all right. We're not in any high security area.
Okay, now is this gonna be the Valentine?
What?
When's the Valentine thing? That's
The Valley?
Valentine dance?
Yes, this will be the Valentine dance. It's basically a formal dinner and dance for the clients of this organization, Veterans Alliance, which is primarily homeless veterans.
Right, yeah, Fred Nunes and Linda is really
Yes.
good about helping these people, and I take my hat off those two. They do
One
a really
of
good
the
job.
things that people in that situation need, a very stressful and embarrassing situation, is a chance to get out and act like a human being and be treated
I don't
like
know
a
what
human
that
being.
feels like.
Right.
I'm cooped up all the time. 24/7, I'm in front of that computer on Hemet News, you know, so the community always gets on me, man, you need to go to bed, you need to get some, I can't, man, there's too much going on right now, you know, I go to sleep when I get done and ready, you know, by the time I think I'm done and ready, something else pops up, so I'm there again.
But didn't you know that small businessmen never do as much work as a union worker?
Man, I don't know about that. People always complain, you know, about, what was it, somebody was telling me one time about charging for something, I can't remember what it was, but that was like, you know, dude, you know, I work, you know, or, no, he was telling us to go get a job or something like that, you know, I know what it was when we were talking about that cell phone. And, somebody threw on there that I needed a new cell phone, and this one guy, well, you know, why don't you go get a job? Dude, I work a job, I work more hours than you do, I work 20, sometimes 32 hours a day before I go to bed, you know, I work more in one day than you
Yeah,
work
yeah.
a week, you know, don't tell me to go
Right.
get a job, you
Yeah.
know, I'm working for free for you, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
I'm working
really.
more hours that's in a day, you know what I mean?
That's
Like,
But,
32 hours. Yeah.
also, well, talking about that, so, is there a phone number people can reach you at? if they
Certainly.
want
The
to
phone
talk?
number, area code 951-588-4802.
You wanna say that again?
Certainly. 588-4802.
That's right.
Yeah, he punching in a phone pad
There
right
you
now
go.
too.
That's right,
He
punch
dialing.
in.
He not only telling you, he dialing it for you. All right, you gotta make sure and do it with finesse. Do it with finesse.
Yes.
Call Dave Sheets.
Now, I know also you was talking about up there at the Little Louie's Pizza Cafe, you do a lot of music stuff up there as well on Tuesday night.
Yes. On Tuesday, the cafe up there, and I'm going to be honest with you, is basically a hole in the wall, to be nice. But
I done some
remember,
shows down there.
Yeah, we know what he's talking about.
I know what he's talking about.
hole in the walls have wonderful food. This one has tremendously good food.
Man, I ate some of their pizza that night, man. That
Probably
was
the best
bomb.
in
No, it doesn't, yeah.
in East Hammett, I would say, for that,
Yeah.
especially for that price. Now, unfortunately, 10, 15 years ago, they were what is commonly called a biker's dive. They had police sleeping in the parking lot so that they could clean up after a fight, and of course, it was also a striptease. They still have you go in the bar part of it, and they've got pictures of all the women that they've used, the dancing poles, and all the dollar bills that, well, the tips that the men left,
And probably 90% of them was Little Louie.
Yeah.
so it's a very different environment than the business next door, the business that's run by different people.
Just when you go in there, just stay out of those double doors to your right.
Right.
Stay to the left.
You got
Yeah.
heaven over here, you got hell
Yeah,
over here.
yeah, right, yeah, pretty much, yeah.
But they have figured out that they can make money with their pizza oven, but they've got to change their atmosphere. They've got to change their reputation in the community. So every Tuesday I go in there and play some acoustic guitar.
Now you do flamingo and all other kinds.
What?
You do the flamingo and all other
Yes,
kinds.
I do. I went in there originally to do some flamenco, or actually flamingo is a bird, flamenco.
So, hey, I was close.
Yeah, right.
Every time you
I'm
say it, I
surprised you
still
remember that
think of
much,
the
yeah,
bird,
yeah,
you know?
right. Yeah,
Yes,
I
well,
was
that
actually
and
playing
classic
flamingo.
music just did not go over well in this bar.
Somebody that's watching.
So now I play some Jim Reed's, Jim Croce, or Eagles, or something that's still very family friendly, but is something that people will recognize,
Yeah.
if that makes sense. I know we're in different kinds of music, but
Right. Okay. What else are you having offering in the community as well? I know you had something else. I couldn't remember what we were talking about. You do the music, the Facebook website, and there was one other thing that you was offering. Am I?
right now
Or is
Right.
that it? Did I cover it up?
I can't. I think we've covered it all.
Okay.
Yes.
So this is every Tuesday at 7 o'clock, right?
Every Tuesday from 7 to 8. Oh, now I think I know what you meant. There was one day a week I went in there and did some experimental music, whatever I could come up with from my computer, and I tried to put some guitar on top of it.
Yeah.
But again, that didn't catch anybody's attention the way I was hoping.
Hey, you gotta try, man. I mean,
Yes.
hip hop didn't come out. I mean, you know, they experimented first. You know, people didn't
Right.
like it for a while. I mean, sometimes, you know, we're in like almost another new wave era right now. You know, you never know what's.
If I have a couple minutes, could I mention something?
Yeah, let me get my cameraman to come a little bit closer. I've been, just got some word that some people are having problems hearing our stream, so I
You
want.
can hear me? Hello.
So we wanna
Alright,
get,
Okay.
we are restreaming through two feeds, you know, so we're working on this as best we can. Like I say, this is our trial period show, this is our first show. We're trying to get, you know, a little bit more people to help donate to us so we can get some better computers to be able to do this a lot more louder for you folks, so.
Need funding to work out the kinks.
That's right, you know,
Yeah.
we need some funding to get some bug spray to kill these bugs that we're working on.
Right.
So, I guess we'll just have to talk a little louder over here.
Now, am I talking loud enough? Okay. Now, basically, I just wanted to mention the jazz drummer, Max Roach. I was reading a interview with him recently, and he was talking about hip-hop, the hip-hop world, and saying, this is exactly like what we were doing 60, 70 years ago.
Right.
They are pouring their emotions out into their music, and they're coming up and using instruments that we never thought of using before.
Right.
And they're making music out of it.
Oh, you can make
Just
music out of
like
anything.
people were doing in the 30s and 40s.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
So, as far as I'm concerned, and I think an awfully lot of people could say, hip-hop and rap are just like jazz.
Right.
They just don't bring the
Well, I
bad
mean-
people out of the community.
Right,
like
yeah,
they always
well, I
say.
mean,
There's a lot of genres of music in hip hop and rap.
Right,
You
right.
got bluegrass, you got rhythm and blues, you got jazz,
Yes.
you got soul. Believe it or not, you've even got orchestra and opera.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
It's
yeah.
a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
It's a correlation of all different factions, which has, as I see it personally, how these different artists are reaching out to people nowadays instead of back in the day. Like, see, I'm 40. Back when I was in high school, the rap back then, no, it would send a totally different message.
Right. Well, and like that's Barry had a really good point, and I like to think of hip hop as black, and I don't mean by like race, or ethnic group. I mean like by like black is universal. I mean you put on a pair of black pants, you wear anything with it. You know what I mean? Hip hop is universal. You can put anything with hip hop, and it has been almost basically done already. Like everything's been done. Like Barry said, orchestra, rhythm and blues, jazz. It's all been put into hip hop, and it's all they've all made great music out of it. Different artists and stuff. From the west to the east and all around the country. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely. I definitely agree with you. Well, I think we just about covered everything. Definitely want to appreciate you coming on the show with us. Was there something else you wanted to say though?
No.
Okay, looked like you wanted to say something. I didn't want to leave you hanging or anything on there, so, I definitely appreciate you guys coming on the show with us and gals.
Yes.
And even though we just about had to do some choking over here and do some CPR on you, we had a
Yes.
good time, so,
Yes.
definitely, we're gonna be doing more shows. We're gonna try to do this every Wednesday.
Sounds great.
So if you have anything that you would like to discuss, get out to the community, you know how to give me a call, 951-350, I'm thinking of my number, I just got this new phone, 951-350-3203, ladies and gentlemen, and, I think we covered everything, and let's see here, what do I got here?
It's not for now.
Oh, okay, that's not for now. But I want to say thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. This is EJ, your radio DJ, and I am that crazy guy with the lazy eye. And we are going from the west coast to the east coast, and we're on the space coast, and we out of here.
Yep.